So we're figuring it the fuck out.
Figure it the fuck out, huh?
Day one, but not really. Day one for y'all who may be viewing this at the time. Uh, we got Kaseek Ortiz here.
We're doing an intro.
I'm gonna bust a little intro. Fuck
What's
it.
a little intro? Fuck it.
Yeah, we're gonna bust a little intro. They need to know a little bit of backstory on who the fuck he is. We got Kaseek Ortiz here. He's engineer, head engineer, GrizzGangForever Studios, the brand, everything, and he's also one of the head artists too, the leading artist. So I'll let him introduce himself, and me, I'm just a serial entrepreneur named Tyrant. Let's keep it nice and simple and brief like that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Kaseek Ortiz, you already know. Like he was just saying, head engineer, major entrepreneur. I wear many different hats. Done plenty of graphics, then did a whole bunch of videos, did pretty much everything I needed to do to make sure that my craft could actually touch the masses. But I narrowed it down, ended up just writing music, recording, mixing, mastering, and just mentoring and helping other artists. It's like the main focus, dropping gems and helping people achieve their goals.
You always got to plant seeds with the next generation, and that's what it's about. And he started off, one of the main artists he worked with up until this point is my own brother, Ben Grizz. And it kind of went for a full circle. The first artist he recorded with, not the first artist he recorded with, the first engineer my brother actually went to. And from there, it kind of started a whole thing that led here to 2024. We're at February 10th, 2024, and it started when we were just sitting on this man's couch, just like a couch we're sitting on right now. And
We're going back in time now. Got my mind racing back in time now.
yeah,
Okay.
you got to take a little trip down memory lane a little bit sometimes. So, we're sitting on a couch just like this. My brother's recording with him. He just starts professionally recording and really getting in swing, taking it seriously, basically. There comes that turning point in every man's life when you look at something you're passionate about and you're like, dang,
Facts.
I love this. I love every moment of doing this, and how do I take this to the biggest level I could possibly take this shit? So.
No, facts. Once, because me and you were already going to school with each other. And it's not like we actually really knew each other like that. It was just, cross paths. It wasn't like, what up, hi, bye, or let's chill or anything like that. It was kind of like, yo, we're just in the same group of the same friends, but not really talking to each other up until, Stefan came through and was like, yo, I want you to record these dudes because he already knew I was kind of picky with choosing motherfuckers to even work with. So he introduced me to, Ben Grizz. And then when I realized it was you too, I was like, oh shit, like we already went to school with each other. Like, let's just get it.
Yeah, shout out to Stefan, sincere, he made the connection, and you never know what friends you have and what people they may know. He knew him, we connected with him, and then we became the best of friends and business partners, after a lot of trials and tribulations, years put into this and us kind of sticking to the same path on our own and coming together as a unit.
Thanks.
So, he started recording with him. We all bounced around, do our own thing, and end up 2020 really making GrizzGangForever right here on Main Street. This busy little street out here in Fitchburg, Massachusetts.
Yes,
and
sir.
it's been a hell of a ride. We've been essence of this whole show, figuring it the fuck out the whole time.
Thanks.
From creating a business, being in a unit with a team, communication, and just taking this whole music thing up to whole different levels that we never thought we could, and really involving ourselves deep in the community in a way that we already knew we wanted to do, but it just made it that much easier when you put 3 or 4 power minds in the room at the same time.
Right. And even the stuff that we didn't really know necessarily what it is that we wanted to do, we had knew that there was a bigger picture that we were trying to reach and we didn't know how to get there, which ends up bringing us back to figuring it the fuck out. Half the stuff that we've been doing already has been us just figuring it the fuck out. 100%. Even this right here that we're doing now is just us. We need more content. We need to chop it up. We need to plan. We need to just figure it the fuck out.
And show you more of us, to to the core. You know, like a lot of artists, content creators, they don't get to ever show you that side of them. You hear their music, maybe that's it. You watch their YouTube videos, that's pretty personal. But some people are just selling things at all times. Some people are just posting what you see online. You don't see the actual back end of what's going on. So
Right.
it's good to show people that creative process, that intellectual process, how you're actually coming up with these ideas and, you know, making them, manifesting them, and bringing them to real life. Because that's where every idea is. Every idea, every business was an idea at one point. If you think about it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, everything.
Every last business was an idea.
You know what I'm saying?
And was manifested and created into something that was tangible and real.
If you can dream it, it can be real.
But during that process, there's gonna be a lot of figuring it the fuck out, bumping your heads, you know, maybe even a bit of doubt, but you don't let that sit with you for long. You know, if you got doubt, do what you can to get rid of that shit. Cause you know, you got
That's just you standing in your own way at that point. That's just your worst enemy. We're all our worst enemies.
And you know, you gotta tell yourself the right things in your head at the end of the day. Affirm that you can make it. And the vision you had is gonna get a little bit blurred along the way, but don't let it linger for long. Always go back to that main vision you had of what you think everything could be. Because once you get back to that and then have that full belief, the faith, and you're putting the action behind it, you can't fail. So that's what this whole thing is about. And you've seen us in the community, probably in Fitchburg, Boston, Worcester, and you'll see us a lot more places moving forward. But as we figure it the fuck out, we're gonna bring that information to y'all.
Facts. Let's get it cracking.
Yeah.
How do we start it? You know what I'm saying? Shit, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
You know, that's a deep, that could be a deep, loaded question at times, but I'm feeling great right now. You know, we're at a point where we're transforming the business. We did a lot of time spending our time on a lot of people in the community, like I said before, and what other people bring to the table. And we finally realized, like, we're our biggest asset. We have everything we need, all the knowledge to really transcend our whole brands and build the lifestyle we're trying to build for our families. And it's all lies with us. And the sooner people realize stuff like that, the quicker stuff starts to crack. But with that being said, I feel great. You know, I started off the year, I lost sight in my one of my eyes. That's how the year started off. The year of the eight.
Right.
You know, and a lot of people in my position would be looking at things like in a grim, little kind of way, like, dang, why is this happening to me? But that's another one of those things you don't want to get caught up in. Why me? It's all a learning experience, every last thing. And me losing that sight made me see it clearer than possible, clearer than ever. Because I got to see what was important. I got to be grateful for the things that in my life that I really love. And I got to really appreciate everything that I'm doing. And it also shows you on the other side, like, how quick things can escalate and go in a whole different way than what you expect, you know? So with that being said, it just made me ready for everything that's going on right now, you know?
Right.
And, you know, that's just, that in the essence makes you just feel great about what's going on and everything, you know?
No, definitely.
But how you feeling?
Shit, it's been interesting. I can't say it's a bad thing though. It's been really I want to say fruitful in the workload that needs to be happening. I actually can, if I had to really put a stamp on it, I just feel really great. I feel like almost like a kid again, kind of just like falling back in love with the process, kind of lost sight. And it's funny that you start talking about sight because you're naturally losing, you know, you're going through what it is that you're going through where, you know, your eye is kind of getting the issue with it. But like I'm falling back. I'm like clearing my sights to where it's like now I'm starting to feel like I'm 15 again. And I just started doing music. Like this is my first day type shit. And that passion that's like coming with it, I'm like extremely drawn and falling back in love with the figuring it out. Like the oh, I didn't know how to write a song. Now I know how to
Yeah.
write a song. Or, oh, I don't know how to record a song. How do I do that? Even though
Yeah.
I know how to do these things now, but I almost feel that same fiery, like, yo, I know how to do the song. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. Like, so now it's like, if anything, I'm just faced with the anxiety of like, I know too damn much. And now I need to really just bring it all back down to reality, to the day and day times of, yo, just go to the studio and record this and do that. I mean, I was already doing it, but like I said, at some point I kind of started, not feeling so in love with it.
And you're making this, you're going back to the basics almost. Like,
Right.
it seems like,
Right.
which is, that process what makes you fall in love, the process you fell in love with in the beginning.
Nah, facts. Facts. It's making me feel like I said, a kid again. I feel like I'm fucking 15, 16 years old again, ready to bash it over the head like wide open.
And that's
like a
what
force
you need.
coming.
And in that creative process, like that fire, that hunger, like, okay, this is what I love. This is what I want to do and what I want to show to the world.
Right. The force is coming. You know what I'm saying? Figuring it out and the force is coming. That's just like what it is. Like that's like the mantra. Like that's the like that's the new chant, the new words of affirmation, I guess you could say. Granted, it's like I'm feeling like, when I wake up, I'm more excited to wake up. I mean, everybody wakes up, regular shit. Oh, I gotta go to work, or oh, my body's kind of hurting from doing whatever, and I got
that
these
hamster
bills.
wheel shit.
Yeah, that hamster wheel shit. Like that shit is never going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's not really going anywhere until you really clock out. What I mean by clocking out is like once you actually leave this earth, it doesn't really stop. So it's like that shit, all that stuff is gonna happen. But waking up and actually being like, oh shit, I woke up today. Oh shit, I got another day where I can achieve what it is that I was manifesting as a kid. Because I achieved so much of what it was that I wanted to do as a kid. And like I said, I lost my sight because, I kept achieving these things, but then I would move the goalposts and I would completely discredit what I just achieved because I was too focused on the next goalpost, but the goalpost was constantly moving. I was really just blocking myself from enjoying the process. And I think because of that, that's what kind of got myself lost in like numbers and caring if people like this or caring about that. And it's like, I don't even naturally even give a fuck. So how did I even get here? But at the end of the day, they say the first step is to acknowledge, your flaws or whatever, insecurities or whatever there might be.
Yep.
Now I can acknowledge them and now I'm like, I'm ready to go. Like everything, I'm ready to unload the clip every single time when it comes to this music shit, whether it be podcasting, whether it be writing music. If I'm in love with it, I want people to hear it right now.
Yeah. No more waiting and like, okay, being too critical on your creative process. Like, oh, I could redo this. I could do it better, blah, blah, blah. Like, just put it out there in its raw form.
Right.
And see how people receive it. Because there's someone out there who really resonates for what you're doing.
Yeah,
and they're trying to do it the exact same way you're doing it, maybe. Or maybe even better. They could do it in their own way, but you never know how you inspire someone by just putting that out there.
Right. That's a fact. That's why we need to be doing these things and just releasing them, because you never know. There might be a motherfucker out there that's like, that could be watching us that we don't even know that is watching us like that. But like, they just need to hear something positive because maybe they're down and out, whether it be a jam, whether it be a song or some type of a hello. You know what I'm saying? How you doing? A smile in the face. A smile in the face keeps motherfuckers smiling, Yeah. It's kind of hard to be like, yo, you walking around with a grim ass face and you walk by somebody and you smile. It's kind of hard. Like, do you not want to smile back? Like, you want to stay in that energy, or you know what I'm saying? Usually when somebody smiles at you, you know what I'm saying? If a little kid comes up to you and says, you could have a rough day. If a little kid comes up to you and starts smiling, like, you really gonna not smile back? And when you do smile back, it makes you feel good.
Say, like, if I go down that lane and I start smiling around motherfuckers, they might wonder what the fuck is wrong with this dude. Just a little bit. Like, it all depends. You gotta be a little pretty, kind of, a little prettier, or a little bit, easier on the eyes to make some shit like that happen.
Looking like you about to bite somebody.
What's up, dog? Like,
I don't know. He's smiling too much. I think he's gonna bite me.
But it can work for some people, definitely. Like, I get what you're saying, and it will be a more positive reception than you frowning at the motherfucker.
Yeah, if you're looking like you want to fight, like I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna fight you back. Like
people saying what's up to you and you just keep it moving.
right.
You know, like that's another thing we need to get. Just people as a whole, black people, people in general. When you see people, like, what's the whole thing where you just gotta immediately act like your hardest figure? Like you're not even really that hard, but you gotta act hard, you know, in the moment.
Shit, you know what I'm saying?
To just put on a front so people think you're hard.
Bro.
But like we didn't even care if you're hard. Like we're just trying to say what up, man.
That's what I was telling my lady. You know, because I was telling my lady because
the whole psychology of it is fucked up. Like, bruh, like us as black people, why can't we just immediately just say what's up to each other? Or as Spanish people, as brown people, that ain't happening because they have ops in their hood. They got this dude who done did this to them. They got so now everyone they see, you could be at the market basket and see a nigga you never seen in your life, and it ain't gonna be a instant warm reception.
Right. No, trust.
You know,
you're talking about somebody that every time I post a photo, I'm mean mug. I'm like, like why is on every photo I got looking like that? But most of the time when I'm chilling with everybody in the team or I'm chilling with my kids, I got a huge ass smile on my face. Like, why don't I even?
Well, I can answer that question. You know, like when you're with the team, it's a better vibe. The vibration is way over everything. Mm-hmm. When you're out in public, you're picking up everything. This person's arguing with their spouse, so they're all grumpy. This person don't want to be working that day, so they're all grumpy. This person's happy as hell because they just fucking came up on a bag. Like it's all mixed emotions of happiness and people in despair.
Naturally, I feel like an empath myself. So if I'm in the area,
that's where I was.
It drains me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll end up. I just need to go home, take a nap. That's usually what ends up happening. Too much energy, too much handshaking. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have to say too much to somebody to shake a hand and then feel like they had a rough day. Yeah, maybe my handshake made them feel a little bit better, but it really drained my battery. And now I got to go home and juice back up.
You know, I'm a mean looking nigga and all that, but at the end of the day, I want everyone to be doing good. I don't wish no bad on nobody at the end of the day. And if people walked around with that type of energy, then everything would go more solid. Like, and really, like, check yourself when you're being negative towards someone, because it could happen out of nowhere. Something could be going on with you that unexpected, and when you talk to even your best friend, your brother, your sister, your mama, you're talking to her with an attitude because something happened in your life.
Right.
You know, like, just don't let that shit rub off on everybody you encounter.
Right.
And then shit would go a lot better. Shit, your mama don't like you, nigga. Don't fucking load up the AK and go hit up a school and try to be the school shooter. Like, what the fuck? Like, don't push your problems on everybody else. And a lot of shit would go a lot more fucking simple, I feel like, you know? But that's just me. I mean, that's part of figuring it the fuck out, I guess. It's some hard lessons that come with the shit. You know?
Yeah, you get taught one way and you believe in this one way, and then all those ways end up changing. I spend most of my adult life trying to unlearn everything that I was once taught because none of that shit adds up or none of it makes sense anymore.
Especially if you're in the age range from 25 to, like, I want to say about 40 right now. We were all taught that you had to go to school, get a good job, get a good career, play the rules, go to church, do all that good stuff. But then now here we are in 2024, we're seeing kids. I'm not even saying niggas. We're seeing kids that are like 15, 19 millionaires.
Right.
Off online shit.
Off some shit that would have been said like back in the day would have been like, oh, don't
playing
do
video
that.
games.
Stop playing video games. Video games is gonna make you blah blah blah. Like,
this is the world we're in now. Like, this shit's crazy. Like, we are living in a whole world in the future where, like, anything is really possible.
Right.
You know, but we came up in a world where the parents and their parents were like, it was real conditioned.
Right.
You got to walk down that college path, go get the college debt, get the good job. If you don't, you're going to be stuck working at Wendy's the rest of your life, bro.
Right. Facts. Facts.
If you don't get that scholarship, if you don't get excel at something and be extraordinary at it, there's no middle lane, bro. Like, you're done. You're going to be you working at Wendy's or something, or Market Basket for the rest of your life. And that's not the reality of it.
Right.
in these days. So it's kind of crazy to see how that shifted. You can go chase your fucking dreams these days.
Right. And then get praised for it. Because back in the day, like if you was chasing those dreams or trying to be an entrepreneur, it was almost like you were frowned upon. Like, oh.
And laughed at.
Like, how dare you? Like,
before the internet?
Yeah.
I just looked back today. I actually started my Facebook in 2009.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. So like around 2010, 11, 12, that's when all the apps, the internet and all that shit really started to really go bugging wild, you know? Now it's this day and age, like almost you see these artists like Ice Spice, you know, DDG, credit to him on the YouTube front. They're popping off as content creators before they even pop off with their music. You know, Ice Spice.
I'm not really hip to Ice Spice if she was a content creator before. I think that was just kind of out of nowhere.
She blew up on, well, where I was going with her, she blew up on TikTok, really, kind of. Even Pop Smoke. We'll go back before her. We'll go to Pop Smoke.
Yeah.
He blew up on TikTok. You know, and that was like, we were looking at it like, what the fuck is TikTok?
Right. That's a fact.
You know? What was the other app that that was there? Triller. I don't even know if that's really a thing anymore.
I think it's still a thing, but I don't even, I'm not hip to it. I'm not like.
That was like TikTok, but more gauged for the artists.
I'm struggling enough just with the Facebook and the Instagrams. You know what I'm saying? I try to get into all of it, but then I focus too much on one thing. I end up forgetting everything else. Like if I focus on Triller, I'm going to end up forgetting to post on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all that shit.
That's something I would tell y'all right now, too.
Trying to just
try to focus on your power apps, like the ones that really resonate with you. You really like to use. You like the interface. You like how to engage. You feel like you got good engagement on it. Focus on those and ride those out. Build a hell of a fan base on those. Because why would you divert your efforts on all these different platforms when you really go on Instagram or Twitter, whatever it is for you, and you're like, I don't fuck with this shit. I don't like how the messaging works. I don't like how the algorithm works. I don't like how it diverts me to other people's attention. All that good stuff. Like, I just don't like it, but you're trying to ride it out because you got all these gurus and shit telling you, all right, you need to have this. Go with what works for you. Because when you make it pop for you, then you're going to be the blueprint all of a sudden.
Facts.
Like now you're the blueprint because you did some shit outside the box.
Facts. No, trust. I get that. I mean, I just want to focus on what it is that I can actually focus on and just build it there. Like I have a love-hate relationship with Facebook. Facebook is hella weird to me, but for some reason, I can get real good engagement on it. So it makes me like love it again. On Instagram, it's like dying for me. But then again, Threads comes out and I have like no real following. And when I post, I actually kind of like it because nobody sees it. It's weird. It's like a public diary for me where I just start ranting off on shit and nobody sees it. It's kind of like, I feel like I'm in the woods almost screaming. No one can hear it and it actually feels kind of good. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily on there screaming or saying anything wild. I'm just talking my talk on there and it's like nobody hears it and I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's like a thought into the air and that's it.
Shit.
I mean, eventually it'll blow up, but.
You know, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, no one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck when dudes like us got shit to vent about.
To vent about? Nah, fuck that.
They don't care.
For what?
They don't care. Like, as much as we sometimes motherfuckers get kicked in their balls and they want to do it.
Yeah, I like to bring that up because I actually just watched Russ do an interview. And in his interview, you know, like they were talking about how, like, him canceling a tour. And because he canceled a tour, because of, you know, he just felt like he wanted to for mental health or whatever the case may be. But you can't easily just tell somebody, yo, I just don't want to do it without everybody hitting you up saying, grow the fuck up. I got shit going on. My mom just died. I lost my job. I did this. I did that. Like, my girlfriend still, you know, is cheating on me. Like, I don't like, how dare you cancel? Like, you know, shit like that be happening. It's like, bro, like, if you don't feel like doing it.
Business is business, and it's harsh, and it's crazy.
And then we get fucking shit on if we vent it.
Customers, they don't give a fuck. They're like, yo, drop the album, bro. Right. Like, what's going on?
Fuck that album. I'm about to kill myself. Fuck that album. I got the gun in my mouth right now. What do you want? You motherfuckers leave me alone.
Nah, for real, though. Like, when you become in that public figure space, it turns to a whole nother level, like
Yeah,
a
people-
demand, you know, and
It's weird. It's like they treat you almost like a servant. Like you're here to serve their purpose. Like, how dare you take a day off? How dare you have feelings and emotions?
get ready for that because that's what it's about to be.
No, that's a fact.
That's what this
You know
whole
what I'm saying?
thing.
At that
This whole
point,
thing's in the head.
At that point, you know what I'm
Shit.
saying? Motherfuckers, you know, they might really want the AI artist. The AI artist that doesn't have the real feelings and the emotions behind it. Not intangible.
That's the fucked up part. I feel bad for y'all in Hollywood, right? If they're still, or I don't see how this will leak to artists, but hopefully it don't. But if they're stealing your likeness and just using it as AI and fucking in random films and shit like that, just you're not even acting, they just got your likeness and just using it, I feel bad for you.
Yep.
You were getting, that's like the new age pimping right there. Like, woof, they're making millions off you. You weren't even on set. That's crazy.
Yo, to even play with that idea since you just randomly brought that shit up, that'd be a funny question. But like, let's just say if that's real, right? Like they're taking that existence from you. But what if you get paid for it?
Oh no, so that's kind of the deal. Like,
You know what I'm saying? What if you get paid
somewhere
for
in
it?
some type of contract, they wrote out like, okay, you can use my likeness and everything for like a $10 million contract or a $5 million contract.
Right.
But they didn't know that meant like whatever movie they want to use their likeness down the road. Yeah, they got paid, but it was like probably something small. And it was
I'm sure it's like a label deal in the sense where it's like, yo, we're going to use your likeness for 5 movies in the span of 3 years or something like that. You know, I can
they
almost
got 50
see
million,
that.
but it's for 5 movies.
Right.
So you got paid on the one thinking it was like that was for one movie, and the next 5 movies rolling out, it's just like that's pro bono, baby. You just
pro bono.
Like you signed the contract, baby. Like we're gonna use the AI Will Smith on that one. You know, like the AI because
right.
That's the thing. Like
I don't know. Would you
leaking
take the
in
bag?
Music because I don't know if you saw that clip of the AI that was imitating Drake.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, that
you know, once they really can start doing that and sign away on that, like then it's like
that was kind of dope. I'm sure he's gonna end up having to pay all that back. I didn't really dive into it afterwards. I just know that, you know, when Universal Music had like sued over it, I knew they were gonna end up winning. You can't really go against the label's budget like that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like a random independent who's really just rapping in the basement, making fucking
fuck the labels. You know, that's another conversation we're going to be delving into as we get down this whole figure it the fuck out path. But
now you're gonna come off like hella anti labels. I'm not really anti label though. I'm just not really.
I'm not with the you know, like you said before, like when we talked about many times, the gatekeeping that goes on with all this shit.
Yeah.
But I guess honestly, you gotta really like shout out to GG33, the numerologist dude. But like gatekeeping is necessary at times.
It is.
At times.
I can see that
because not everybody is worthy for certain fucking information.
Right, because certain information gets out in the wrong hands, and then people just really abuse whatever it is, making it really difficult for the ones that actually do deserve it.
You get into an elite circle that you're really trying to be in, and then all of a sudden you're trying to expose that circle and toe the boundaries of laws that they had in place before you even came into the bitch.
Right. Right, but I don't know who sanctioned that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're old enough now, like time has gone by so far, like, and we just keep playing by the same rules. You know, the rules kind of have to change up. I think it is.
As times change.
As time's actually going on, you know what I'm saying?
Technology.
Being a part of it, being a part of that process myself of feeling like extremely independent, you know? Like, I've already turned down a few of those deals, you know?
Yeah.
Like, some of these deals that will come at me is just, even though I'm still taking a high percentage, I still don't understand why I want to give 15, 20, 30% away of what it is I do without actually knowing what I'm really being provided other than distribution. You can get distribution anywhere.
That's not going to cut it.
It's not. Like, I want to be able to...
We need big deals in this bitch.
Right.
Fuck that.
I want to do partnerships. I want to do something that's like beneficial.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I said the fuck you earlier. Like, I don't advise anyone bending over backwards and selling themselves out for pennies. Or just what they don't even value themselves at. But with that being said, some motherfuckers got to come with a more realistic evaluation on what they got going on.
It's difficult, especially when you get a bunch of interns in they end up being the A&Rs or whatever the case may be, and they're really themselves are figuring it the fuck out. So they're going to make the mistake by not offering you the right amount. But just because they don't offer you the right amount, now you're not signing the deal. Now that company just lost a new Kendrick Lamar. They just lost the new whatever, J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Like they're losing solid people because they sent some fucking meatballs to give you some bullshit deal with either no figure on it, or they're trying to rape the record.
So
or your catalog. I should say.
So now you're leading me into an interesting question. So you being an artist, engineer, what do you think about this whole how the Grammys went? The topic of discussion for a lot of people.
Yeah.
How do you think the Grammys went? The result, and all those old, what they say, older artists getting all those awards.
Yeah. I really like that they were getting those rewards. I actually seen somebody post on Instagram. I would shout it out if I could remember the name, but they were saying that most of the voters that are on this panel are all actually older people, which I don't really believe anyways, because I think even if you Google it, it literally says that you can like these people are like silent voters. Like you don't know, like it's anonymous basically.
Yeah, okay.
And like anybody can just sign up supposedly to just be a voter on it. I don't know the process or how long it takes, but I heard it was pretty simple. Anyways, this dude had basically said like older people are the ones voting. So that's the only reason why these older artists were actually winning, because kind of like Congress, these motherfuckers are just getting too old to vote and they're only voting for the music that they like. So they didn't really vote for the younger. But then again, I can't really agree with that either, because there's people on there that really did their thing. Like Killer Mike, I'm a huge fan of Killer Mike. And Killer Mike has never really gotten his flowers up until...
Facts.
I want to say he has gotten his flowers. You know what I'm saying? He has a whole Netflix series that he did, which is literally amazing. If anybody's ever not seen it, like, you need to check it out. I don't even remember the name, but it's on Netflix, and he does a lot of dope shit on there.
And the activist shit he's been doing, the black-owned bank.
Yeah,
I'm with all that shit.
I actually have Greenwood. I'm actually signed up with Greenwood because of Killer Mike.
Wow.
So, and like, yeah, that shit is dope. Like,
so he's doing major moves for the community.
Yep, I have them as my business as well. I could use them as my business. I don't currently, but I got it. Got the card and all that. I got in there early. As soon as he made the announcement, I had signed up. I was on the waiting list for like 2 years. But, I think he collected what he collected, which was really dope to see him get his flowers.
Yeah.
We already had that conversation about Money Long being as dope as she is and finally getting something at 34, 35. I think it was 34.
Shout out to McKee. He's really, that boy's really doing it out here. He's done
Big
major work in the industry. We really fuck with that dude. McKee. So we're going to end up doing some work with him at some point. So
I would love to. That's like a dream. Yeah. Him and Wendy Day. That's like my dream come true for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z, catching his award and being it from a Dr. Dre, giving that Impact Award. I really liked that, what he said. And it was real shit. Like, you got people like his daughter's there, who's got multiple Grammys, but actually never really, you know what I'm saying? Because she's on records. So, like, it's pretty crazy. But then there's people out there who really put their blood, sweat, and tears. I really liked, the Grammys was kind of weird to me. I'm sure that people definitely felt like they were snubbed in it. I totally get it, but I did enjoy seeing who was actually winning. At the end of the day,
I felt the same, basically.
I like that,
These people, deserve their flowers. People who really put in work.
I'm glad SZA finally got
something. But I see the other side of things.
I'm also glad that which was crazy, because that 80-year-old lady, she was singing. That was her first time ever performing on the platform. So it's like, she's been doing music forever. Now this is the first time y'all, no shade, no offense, no disrespect, but I mean, at 80, your voice isn't even the same as it was. And you got her on stage singing these songs that she, was singing in her 20s and 30s. And now you got her on 80. It's almost kind of like bittersweet. It's kind of like, yay, I get to do this. But y'all really waited for me to be 80? I'm about to die on stage singing this shit. No disrespect. Oh, for a fruitful life for her. But like, I thought it was a beautiful thing. But like,
She's look fruitful. Shit, she's already
facts.
80, and she's at the Grammys. Like,
Facts.
that's pretty fruitful.
Facts.
Like, hopefully the rest of her life before that was great up until that point.
Right.
You know, but
knowing as an artist and all the struggles that we have to deal with, I know how I would, like, at this moment, I can't say how I would feel at 80 because, you know, that's a long, fruitful life. But let's just say if I was 80 years old and I'm feeling the way I'm feeling right now, currently in my current state, if I was on stage, I'd be kind of pissed. I'd be like, you motherfuckers, I'm about to die on stage on y'all on purpose. Like, y'all waited for me to get here. I'm about to just croak right here. Shut the whole shit down. Y'all gonna remember me, motherfucker.
Go out like at your highest point.
I'm about to go out with a bang. Like, you know?
Nah, that's crazy, you know. But I think, and, you know, I just look at it, everyone deserves their flowers, but I know there's a bunch of young motherfuckers like, who the hell are you dudes?
Yeah.
Like, what? This ain't Ice Spice and NLE Chopper and fucking just all these random ass dudes who, like, you know, there's some good younger people. Let me not take away from that, but it's getting drowned out a little bit. And a lot of these younger people were either supplanted, I'm not going to say that other thing, but supplanted into the industry.
Right. I don't know, maybe.
Supplemented, whatever you want to say it, like a surplus.
Yeah. It's hard for me to subscribe to that. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, I hear people talk about that, but it's hard for me to subscribe to that.
They knew someone who knew someone who really got them up. So people can see through that. When you don't just have a true fan base, people can see through that shit.
Right.
Like, and some of these people like didn't put in work and put in years and put in platinum hits after platinum hits to really get to where they're at.
No, facts.
And a lot of that also is the streaming age. It makes everything diluted. You have so much access to music, all different types of music, whatever you want to play at an instance moment. Like, nigga, we had to burn that shit off of LimeWire and FrostWire before and go buy the album and shit like that and go actually touch down with these people. So it was a lot more personalization in it. And they kept it where there was only so few who can reach that level.
Yeah.
Now, like, you know, you get a hit record on one of these platforms, you might reach that level. They might shelf your ass too. But
that's a
they'll
fact.
still put you on and try to put you in the door or whatever. They might shelf you just so they can own that hit, or you might play by whatever rules they got going on, and they want to push you up to the top.
You're talking about the labels.
Basically
doing that shit. Yeah. I thought you were still on the Grammy part. Yeah. Gotta
but
catch myself up to speed.
Yeah, I'm all going all over the place basically. But what I was saying is the younger dudes are mad because they haven't had the development one, and they don't really got the major hits that these older artists are putting it right now. Like, think about it. All the older artists are like the top artists right now. Like the artists who are 30 plus.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. You know, like Jelly Roll, you know, doing his thing, which I love Jelly Roll, you know what I'm saying? Because his hip hop background, just for him to like decide to do like a country record and then get the bag for doing a Grammy, catching a Grammy or whatever it was, Emmy, I can't remember exactly, but I think he got a Grammy for, you know, or the country music awards that they have, like that's separate.
Oh, he got an award.
He got an award at that, and he's like, I forgot what he said he was, 38, 43, I can't remember. All I know is like I love seeing it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because there is so much of that talk in the industry. And I don't know who the fuck sanctioned whoever the fuck it was to be like, oh yeah, after a certain age, you should be done rapping. Like, I don't know who's that asshole who, like,
all right, put it this way. If you're like,
if I was Royce the 5'9",
just starting rapping and you fucking suck.
Right. Yeah,
then
sure.
Maybe you should just give it the fuck up.
But who the fuck?
You've never really had no traction in the first place.
Which metric are they using, or which ruler of thumb, and who's the pope, the grand pope that all of a sudden we started listening to that says that shit? You know what I'm saying? When you have Quincy Jones, who, you know, helped put Michael Jackson together in their record and didn't break out until like he was 52, or you got like Samuel L. Jackson, even though he's an actor, but like he didn't really get his first role until he was like 44 or some shit.
And then ever since then, the vibration again, like, do you suck or do you not? Right. Have you ever moved anybody with your music?
Right.
Or not? Like, then you should know internally if you should hang it the fuck up.
Facts. Like, I don't even know, but I think I seen Steve Harvey say something about, I think he was like homeless or something like that, supposedly at 29, and didn't really start getting into the comedy. Well, he got into the comedy around that same time, and then didn't really break out until he was like 33. Like, You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. Like,
Acting, it can go at any time too.
I don't
You
know
could be
where
older and get on.
I don't know where the age all of a sudden became a factor for people. I don't know. To me, it's
Yeah.
goofy shit. Like, at the end of the day, if
Don't
the
let
shit is
anyone.
dope,
At the end of the day, don't let anyone ever tell you how to live your fucking life.
facts.
And when is your time?
Because you never know. You could be 80
Make your time your time.
on the Grammy stage.
Yeah. And, you know, you could be, look at the billionaires, the top billionaires in the world. They've all started touching their money probably late 30s, 40s.
Right.
You know,
And that's
because
why I
you
want
got
to
to
say,
go through these lessons and figure it the fuck out and
facts,
fail forward
fast. You
as
do it
fast as you
faster,
possibly can.
then the faster you're going to be on the road to success. And I wanted to kind of touch on that before I forgot it. You know, I wasn't trying to cut you off, but being that, like, we can. Oh, I done forgot it. Yo,
That shit
we gotta clip that.
Yeah, that shit slipped nice. Like,
people are gonna be mad. Yo, I want to know what he had to
he's
say.
about to drop a bomb too, and then all of a sudden, like, dang, it's gone. You know,
shit slipped my mind. ADHD.
That's a very progressive thing, and you know, when you're doing a
if
lot
I
of
remember
things,
it, I'll shout
that
it
happens.
back out.
Yeah. You might space out a little bit, but it'll all come back full circle at the end of the day.
I'm just figuring it out. I'm trying to figure out who I am today. You know?
Yeah.
Nah, there's just like, if we fail forward, the better things will kind of just like become. You know, you can achieve a lot more by failing forward and figuring out who you are, what you want to do. Oh, that's where it was. See, now I've jogged my own memory.
I knew it. I was
really
let him cook
doing
a little bit.
The things that you love, you know, because you were talking about, like, it doesn't matter if you want to own a business later on in life. You could be 80 years old, touch Grammy stages. At the end of the day, a lot of people's intention was in it for the wrong reasons, which is why they'll never see the success, because they're standing in their own way, because they're constantly moving the goalposts on themselves. So they're not even enjoying what it is that, you know, the fruits of their labor. But if you love this shit and you're doing it, and I don't mean like love it in the sense where now you're just doing it for free or you're doing it for crumbs. Like, love should never equate to being free. Like, oh, just do me this all out of the love. Like, that means I have to give it for free. Like, it should never necessarily be a free situation, but do something that you enjoy, do something that you love because you love it. You know what I'm saying? If you build something, people are going to come to it. You might not get 1 million people, but you might get 5 people. You know, like, it's a lot different if you're on the side of the road with your car broken down. People are probably, with your hazards on only and not seeing you do anything, nobody's really stopping. But if you're out there looking like you're going in the trunk, people still might pass you. But if you're pulling out the tire iron and look like you have a spare tire because your tire's flat, and you start working on it and it looks like you're struggling, people are going to see that shit and they might end up stopping because at least you were doing something about it. Granted, that's not a love situation, but at least you were out there doing it. And because you were doing it, it attracted the people that seen you doing something, so they're going to help you get that tire off. But in a business standpoint, if they see you out there building that business and really putting the work in, those people are also going to come through and be like, yo, I see you really building business. I want to be able to help you. How can I get in here? You only get that type of shit if like you get out there and work and actually love what it is that you're doing.
It's not gonna happen. You sitting at your house,
facts,
not doing nothing. Like, when you take those steps, you set the intentions, and you really just do your best, and then you'll start filling in the blanks as you need to fill it in, and other people will come and help you fill in those blanks because you just got this full intention and faith. Like, yo, I'm gonna make this happen. Then all of a sudden, the Matrix, the Guardians, your ancestors, they all start putting stuff in your place to make that thing happen. You don't even know how you're getting calls for all this random stuff that you wanted to make happen to get happen. You don't even know how everything is aligning perfectly for you to get what you wanted to get done. Right. You know, and it don't make sense, but it should for the people who know anything about, you know, the manifestation and setting that intention and making it law.
Yeah. Even when something happens bad, I'm kind of like, oh, my manifestations is working. Even though it might not even have remotely anything to do with my vision. Though. It's like, oh, this door is over here closing in left field over here. There's a reason why that door is closing because I'm going over here and I'm doing this. Like I said, I've literally manifested having record deals brought to me just for me to be denying them. And I'm not saying I won't, sign eventually if it makes sense. But I also don't feel like I have enough that I'm proud of to be like, yeah, everybody thinks I'm just gonna sign because I want the clout chasing of it. But I won't do it until I actually feel like it's right. Every year I kept telling you, I was like, yo, I want to do this, I want to do this. And I achieved all that shit. And then was like, still not really happy.
Like you said, the
not
goalpost
satisfied.
gets moved a little bit.
Yeah. And now I'm in love. Now I'm like, yo, I want to do the podcast. I want to shoot more music videos, visualizers, vision verses, us doing the podcast stuff with, us, or we end up doing it with Grizz or the whole team and we do other shit. Like us going out, having fun and just filming that shit. Like we're already out here living. So I just want to have fun while we live.
Yeah. That's the whole main point. You gotta love it while you do it, man. You know? And while you're doing it, man, it's been a hell of a ride. 2020, think about it. World shut down. COVID. For the first couple of years we opened this business, someone would have looked at me and be like, yo, are you crazy opening a studio in a pandemic?
Facts. During it.
But hey, it worked out, man. That was actually a time where people were actually starting to focus more on their creativity and like honestly just more of what they wanted to get done. In 2019, I was a felon. Still am, but not really. We'll talk more about that at some point. But after that, immediately going right into school, get my real estate license, insurance license, opening the business, and getting deep into the community. It sounds very ADHD type shit, crazy shit, but that's what happened.
Right.
And with all that happening, it was all failing forward, building a business so I can use that same experience to talk about in my MBA and just being a salesman and entrepreneur, using that experience on the real estate and insurance wise. And here I am 4 years later, and I'm 3 years deep and 2 different licenses. I got my master's degree, and this business is about to bust out the seams. So the intention is real.
It is.
And when you see how the world has been shifting on the outside around me doing all that stuff, it shows that like when you really just get that tunnel vision and focus, anything is possible, anything is real. It all can happen that way, just that quick. So think about if you set that same intention on one thing that you really want for a good 6 months to a year.
You probably wouldn't even need to have that long.
Exactly.
If you really dialed in.
That's the whole point I was making out of that whole thing.
Yeah, you could really dial that shit in real quick.
The personal power in people that's just about everybody, is real. But you got to learn how to tone down a lot of stuff around you. You got to circle yourself with the right people.
And you have to kind of come off a little crazy because at the end of the day, it is kind of crazy to open up a brick and mortar recording studio during COVID at the same time while home studios are becoming the biggest fashion. I remember I used to get made fun of for having a home studio. Now everybody's got a home studio and it's a fucking cool thing. Now you can I can sit at the cool kids table apparently. You know what I'm saying? At that point. But like we're doing this shit during a pandemic / while nobody's really going to studios anymore anyways. All these big record studios are closing down like Capitol Records and this, that, and the third. Like all these places, legendary studios are completely closing. We're like, yeah, fuck it. We're going to open our own shit. You have to have that certain level of craziness, a certain level of delusion. Like, I believe in this so much that it's just going to work.
And
against whatever.
Against all odds. And it's crazy. Like the people who do the opposite of what everyone else is doing get the biggest reward sometimes. And this is going to be one of those times. The people who do the opposite what everyone else is doing get the biggest rewards. You see these studios shutting down.
Yeah.
Caving in, saying, nah, we're going to do this all from home. We're the one buying into it. It's like everyone's selling, we're buying.
Yeah.
Like Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
When like during the crisis, everyone's selling off their stocks. We're the ones buying.
Yep.
And then when everything turns around the other way, we're at the bottom of it. We're at the best position you can be because we bought when everyone else was selling.
That's a fact.
You know, that's exactly what's happening.
Yep, Tyrant's getting fired up. Tyrant's getting fired up. Let's go. Let him go.
No, but that's what happens. Like, you buy in when everyone else is selling. We bought into this idea of the studio thing. Yeah, niggas might be broke. Niggas might not have enough money. Or
it was weird because we like shut it down, but like we were like, because of COVID, it's like we opened it, but shut it down a little bit. Kind of did like a soft opening. But when we opened the floodgates, you couldn't tell there was no motherfucking COVID. Everybody was here.
Yeah.
Like constantly booking, wanted to just check out the studio, wanted to come here and create, just wanted to just be great.
You know, they felt that, well, for one, it was a place that we weren't really like, you could tell these dudes ain't scared of COVID. Like, they like, you know, they were going to do this music shit over here at GrizzGangForever, whether the COVID was happening or not. Like, they were going to be doing it. So, like, they weren't scared of it. So that definitely made it more like, all right, yeah, let's go over here and get some stuff done.
Facts.
You know, and now what we're doing now, this next level of things, by the time this hits the masses and rolls out, you know, we're going to be having this looking like almost like a slice of TD Garden, Madison Square Garden, crowds of people outside of this bitch as we get these shits rocking.
Hell yeah.
So
that's a good analogy. It's funny because I ain't never even been there. It's funny being here in Massachusetts. I don't even know what the fuck it really looks like. I just know the outside. And obviously, if you know, you watch a Celtics game or whatever, I might see whatever.
Shout out to them too.
But you know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
The Celtics are killing it this year, man. I know you're not really into basketball, but
I am. I just don't be watching.
They've only lost like probably less than 3 to 5 games at home this year at this point.
So they're spanking
people, you know. And
we get them ducats.
I'm gonna just say here, we want that final ship. It's been since 2008. We want to bring it back to the Beantown again this year. So make that happen, Tatum.
Yeah,
go to the hole in the playoffs, please.
Right. Massachusetts needs a reason to not feel so at fault now that we lost the Patriots.
We lost Belichick. We lost Brady. He went and said, fuck us, and went and got another ring in Tampa.
Right.
Like,
he got himself a new bitch.
Some type of way. Yeah. Like, we need another ring
got a new bitch.
So.
I don't blame him. It's nicer weather over there.
That's where you go and retire right off into the sunset.
I don't care.
But as far as riding off in the sunset, what you think? You got anything more to say to these people, or are we gonna ride off on? We're gonna conclude this bitch.
Shit. Our mantra has basically been figuring it the fuck out, but like, you know, being a huge Nipsey fan, and I'll use his quote because it's something that I'm literally living by every day. You know, that's why I hit y'all in the group chat, even saying like, I hope I'm inspiring people and shit like that, or I'm inspiring y'all. You know, like the highest human act is to inspire, and you know, you have to be out there doing great shit.
Yeah,
do great, be great. That shit's attractive. You know what I'm saying? And that, I meant it in the sense like not even like a physical attraction. I meant it in the sense like you're really going to attract that type of energy. You're telling the universe, yo, I want to inspire. I want to do these types of things with my life. And then the life is going to test you to see if you're really about that life. And then it's going to let you inspire. And then it's going to attract the people that want to be inspired.
Preach.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, motherfucker, like,
that's how I leave it.
Life will, just to add to what he just said, so life will, you say you want something, right? Life will put something in your path adverse to what you just said to ask you or show you, do you really want what you just said you want?
A lot of times you don't. I'm not sure if it was Warren Buffett that said that. Now we're about to dive into a whole nother segment, you know what I'm saying? But like, I forgot if it was Warren Buffett or somebody, some old white dude or whatever. He was like, you know, write down your goals, your dreams, and then, you know, figure out what your favorite ones are and then take that away. You know, if you want to have a car, all right, so now you want a car. So now write down what it is that you have to do to get that car. And once you write down all these things that you do to get that car, you might realize it's not the car that you even want anymore. Or
the clout.
You know what I'm saying? Jim Carrey.
I just want clout.
You know what I'm saying? Jim Carrey doing that little segment, I think at the college or whatever, and he had said, or he won an award. Jim Carrey was like, yo, well, he didn't say yo, but he was like, I wish that everybody became a millionaire so they could figure out what they really want to do in life. Because everybody's so attached to, they want $1 $1 million and they want this and they want this. And then you get it and then you don't really know what it is that the fuck that you wanted in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You might put a cap on yourself. I don't want people to always aim high, but you might put a cap on yourself by aiming too high that you weren't even realistic with, in the sense of what you might not need $1 million. You might only need 100,000.
Yeah.
And actually be happy. You know what I'm saying? Don't really chase the bag, chase the happiness. Inspire. The highest human act is to inspire and make yourself happy.
Yeah, I'm all with that, you know. Turning thoughts into gold. That's part of what I do also. So we're a bunch of inspirational motherfuckers over here. We'll be bringing these to you. Plenty more content, plenty more questions to be answered, plenty more topics discussed. This is Tyrant here with GrizzGangForever. We got Kaseek here with GrizzGangForever, and we're figuring it the fuck out.
Figuring it the fuck out.
Thank you.